Well, how'd you do?
Well, to answer that question properly, let's go back to the beginning. Back in January.
All right, let's go. So you're doing it again, huh, Sam?
Yep, rocks just arrived in the mail. Here they are.
Well, might be a little tougher this year since you gave away all your secrets last year, but why don't we pull the camera a little closer and you can show us what your plan is.
Yep. Okay, this year's rock is Washington petrified wood. It's kind of neat that you can see the wood grain in a lot of these. This one kind of looks like a wood chip. This is the pile that I think is going to do better because a lot of it has less cracks and it's almost opalized or some sort. Like it's kind of transparent. So I think that'll turn out better. There's a few that are kind of white. There's a really clear part on that one. And then these four I'm going to cut before throwing them in the first stage.
Are you allowed to cut them?
Yeah, I'm going to cut them because you can do that right before you put them in the first stage according to the rules. I'm going to cut this one probably in half along here so I can get rid of these big holes that are never going to tumble out. And this one's got some pretty bad holes through there. And then I'm probably going to try and take off this edge that has that crummy portion. This side on the other part looks pretty good along here. And then this one's got a cool almost crystal packet with stalactites of some sort. But unfortunately that has to go because it will never turn out. And then these ones I don't think are going to tumble very well because they've got a lot of cracks. But you never know, so they're going to get thrown in as well. Alright, here they are all cut. I don't have a lot of experience cutting rocks on that rock saw, but they seemed fairly hard. Some of these I had to cut a couple times. This one had a little hole, so I tried grinding a little bit of rock off there with the saw. There's that little crystal pocket all opened up. Unfortunately, that's going to be gone soon. So yeah, there they are. We're going to throw them into stage 1 tumbler pretty soon, and we'll be back later. Well, it's been about 3 weeks, and here's where we're at. I've picked out a few different rocks for different reasons. This pile over here, I'm going to try and break with a hammer and chisel because they've got some pretty severe cracks, and it'll just be faster. This one's got like a big pit here that I can hopefully just break it right down in here somewhere. And then these I've taken out because I'm going to grind them at a later date because there's some pretty severe stuff in these. Are already kind of small rocks, so just to stop future problems from when they get too small, I'm going to grind on them a little bit on the cab machine. And we've got one little rock that's done, so it's going to get set aside for now until it gets moved on to a finer polish later on. And then these are all the other rocks that I'm just going to keep tumbling in the coarse grit. There was a bunch of grit in there.
Huh.
I can tell that was a pretty good crack. It didn't look like a whole lot.
Yeah, let's hold it up close to the camera. That's interesting how that broke.
That was pretty easy.
That actually broke nicely.
Yeah. Well, it's been another week, and we've got some more done ones here. And then these are the ones that I've decided to just keep tumbling because they don't have any major issues. But then these, I took a couple of these out last week to try and break, but then they didn't end up breaking some of them. So these I have to cut on the saw and then grind a little bit. And then these are the ones that I have some little pits and stuff that I want to grind just a little bit. Like this one's got some stuff on that side. And like this one's got some spalls that I can take out pretty easy, real fast. So yeah, I'm going to go do that right now.
All right, where are we at, Sam?
Well, it's mid-June, so we've been tumbling for about 5 or 6 months now. And these are all the ones that are done in our rough stage. These are all the contest rocks. These are some filler rocks that we're going to put in with them just to fill space. We're going to go on the lotto now. We started with 3 pounds and we're down to probably less than half a pound.
They're little now.
They have shrank a lot. Tumbled the crap out of them, so.
Literally. So, all right, so into the lotto, and what are we going to do? A little longer runs in the lotto than usual?
Yeah, a little longer than standard, but.
Okay. What did we do last time? Like it was supposed to be 3 days and it was like 11 days or something?
Yeah, a couple times we did that.
Probably don't need to do it quite that long.
Hopefully we keep it to like 2 weeks.
All right. Sounds good. Where were we at, Sam?
Well, the rocks are all polished. It's been about 3 weeks. We did 5 different stages, about 4 days each. We did 220 silicon carbide, 500 aluminum oxide, 1,000 aluminum oxide, and then aluminum oxide polish from the rock shed. And then we did another polish stage of 3 micron aluminum oxide.
0.3 micron.
0.3 micron.
So that's a little different than last year, right?
Yeah.
What did we do last year? We did like, I think you let them, you were supposed to come back in 4 days and you came back like 10 days later. And so the 500 and I think the polish both went really long, didn't they? So different.
Absolutely different. So I've spent several hours going through them. I've had them for probably a week now. It's like mid-July now. They've been done that I've been looking at them. And I've sorted them out into several different categories of quality. I've got my 2 small ones that are just too small and they've got small issues and they're just not worth sending in.
Yeah, they're tiny.
Yeah, these are also kind of small, but they've also have... Some of these white ones actually I thought were going to do well. They kind of undercut and have like little issues. And then these 2 didn't take a real good polish. And this one's got little holes in it. And then these 3, and I'm sure there's others, these 3 have some cracks and there's a little bit of polish or something left in the cracks. And that's one of the criteria that they're judged on. Mm-hmm. They're judged on if you left any residue and how fine the polish is or if there's any scratches. So those are definitely disqualified. And then these were my maybes. These were real close to getting there. This one had some stuff along that edge here. This one of the tips here looks like that tip didn't take a real good polish. This one had a tiny little pit that almost made it because it doesn't have anything in it, but other than that it's real shiny, but I ended up going with a different rock. And yeah, these turned out pretty well.
This has been one of your favorite rocks right along. Yep. I remember you've shown it to me many times as you, ooh, look at it now.
Yeah.
So what was the issue with that one?
This one, it's kind of like a little porous and like all these lighter stripes. There's like several different lines of little almost holes. Doesn't really seem to have any grit in them except for it's like kind of sparkly and I don't trust it.
Okay.
Especially on one of the ends. I thought I saw a sparkle that could have been just a little grain of grit or something, so...
And one of the things about this contest is you send in your 5 best ones and you don't get them back. So this way you get to keep one of your favorite rocks too.
Yeah, this one's cool too. I like this one. I'm kind of happy I get to keep 2 of my favorite rocks in this batch. Last year, I was not a huge fan of any of the rocks. They were all kind of gray.
Right.
So here's my best 5 that I'm going to be sending in. This one I'm really surprised survived the tumble. It's real thin, but it's kind of neat. Almost sad it's going to, but I get to keep at least 2. That one has no issues. This one has no issues, all shiny, no pits, no cracks, nothing like that. This one, no issues as well. I wouldn't say it's the prettiest rock. I'd say it got probably the same polish, maybe. It just looks a little more dull, probably because it's a different color and not as translucent.
And they don't judge them on pretty.
No, they do not judge them on pretty. They send us the rocks, so.
Right.
Yeah. This one has, along this... I remember cutting this one at the beginning because it had a lot of cracks, but there's kind of crack that it's been filled in again, but there's a little bit of a crack still left, but there's no grit or anything in it, and it's got a good polish, so I chose that one as well. And then this one's a real crazy one. Couldn't really notice too many issues with it. I mean, it's kind of hard to look at after a while. It's really a convoluted little knot of petrified wood, so I chose that one too because it had less issues and I couldn't find anything wrong with it, grit-wise, and any of the issues that it might have had.
So although I taught Sam how to tumble, he has the advantage of having much younger and better eyes than I do, and I think the 2 hardest parts about this are each week when in the course stage deciding which ones are ready to set aside and save for the lotto tumbler. And then this last part is... It's a frustrating, difficult job. You said you spent hours looking at these just to pick out your 5 best?
Yeah, I've had these rocks on my desk for probably at least 5 days, and I kept looking at them and being like, well, maybe this one's better. I'll compare it to the one I've got, but no. And
yeah, so that's tough.
I also utilized 2 different magnifying tools. This one's got a flashlight, and it works pretty well. And then this is a jeweler's loop. So this sometimes makes it to the beach when we're up in the UP. So... nice little tools to have to just not have
so you got
the whole time.
The judges are going to inspect them with similar sorts of things. So anyhow, I trust your eyes better than mine to pick out the best ones. So before we go, let's take a look at these up a little bit closer and show everybody the rocks so they can appreciate their beauty, even though they're not judged on that.
Here's the best 5 on the left here. This one's that long skinny one. Doesn't have any issues, so real happy with how that one turned out.
Is that the... Did you shape that? Or did you cut that one at all?
I don't think so. I think it came long and skinny.
That's
you'd
really
have to
cool.
look at the film. This one's got some nice grain pattern going on in there. I'll have to wipe these off with a microfiber cloth so I get all the fingerprints off. There's that one. I remember cutting this one for sure. There's that kind of grayish one. And then that swirly one. Kind of like a little opalized area right there.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
And then the honorable mentions is this kind of wood chip looking one.
I do like that one. Really looks like wood.
Yeah. And this real colorful piece. This one had a knot in it right here. Kind of see the grain pattern. And this is that one that was almost good enough, but there on the end there, didn't get real shiny, versus all the rest of it. And the last one, this one's got some nice grain pattern there.
All right, so what's next? Wait until September?
Yep.
So they're due August 15th. You have to have them mailed in. And then they judge them, and then there's a rock show they show them off at, and then you find out in, I believe it's September or October, in the fall sometimes. There's a little bit of waiting, and hopefully you'll hear good news from us soon. What's your predictions? You think you're going to win?
I don't know if I can do it 2 years in a row, but hopefully, even just placing would be nice.
These are nicer. They look better than last year's, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They look better.
So, but then again, maybe everybody's look better, so we'll just hope for the best.
Yeah.
So you're going to tell us now?
Well, it was a really close contest. There was only a 3-point difference between first place and then fourth place. There was 8 people that tied for fourth. I ended up falling into the 8 people fourth place category.
That's respectable.
Yeah, really close contest. There was, I think, a total of about 60 people that entered this year. So.
Okay. So the winner was Stephen Smith. He came in first. Jacob Ramsey was second, and Cody Hefty came in third. So congratulations to you 3. And the rest of you, when does it start? January?
Yeah. You can start applying, I think, January. It might be January 1st, but it's really early in the year.
Right.
You get the rocks like a weekend. I think I got them a weekend of January, I think, maybe 2 weeks.
Right, and then you have until August to tumble them. So if you're interested in getting in the contest, they sold out last year, didn't they?
Within, before the end of January, I think.
Yeah, so get in there quick if you want to get your rocks, and it's a fun contest. I haven't done it in a few years, but I've been having fun watching Sam do it. So if you want to see how to actually win one of these contests, check out the video here, because last year Sam came in first place. So we did change our method a little bit. Maybe we shouldn't have.
Maybe.
All right, we'll see you next time.